Hello and welcome back to Leader Insights on the Go. Today we're going to spend some time talking about mastering advanced leadership techniques for organizational growth. And we'll talk a little bit later about why this is so important. So let's get started. Now, as you know, and as I always say, leadership is a journey of continuous growth and transformation. As I've navigated the complex world of organizational leadership, I've learned that mastering advanced leadership techniques is essential for driving meaningful change and fostering sustainable growth. Whether you are leading a small team, a large team, or a very big organization, or even a small organization, it doesn't matter. The skills you develop today will shape the future you create tomorrow. So today, I want to spend some time sharing some practical insights and actionable strategies that have helped me and many others unlock the true potential of leadership. Together, we will explore how to cultivate a mindset of excellence, inspire your team, and build a culture that thrives on innovation and trust. Now, advanced leadership techniques go beyond the basics of managing tasks and people. They involve a deeper understanding of human behavior, emotional intelligence, and strategic thinking. When you embrace these techniques, you empower yourself to lead with authenticity and confidence. One powerful approach is transformational leadership. I am sure you guys have heard this before. But transformational leadership, it's all about how you motivate and inspire others. Now, this style is focused on connecting your team with their personal goals and the organization's vision. For example, instead of simply assigning tasks, you encourage your team members to see how their work contributes to the larger picture and purpose of the organization. Now, this creates a sense of ownership and drives a higher level of engagement. And you want your people to be engaged. That is the whole purpose of being a transformational leader. Now, transformational leadership is not about charisma and the hoopla of being a superstar, everybody likes me, has nothing to do with that. Transformational leadership is about being in tune with the needs of your team, having a laser focus, a connectedness that allows the people to see you authentically, and they feel that they can connect with you at a personal and not so much personal, I think we use that word loosely, but as a to connect in an authentic way where people can see who you are, right? So it's not like we're developing personal relationships. We are literally developing meaningful and impactful relationships that allows you to have engagement in a meaningful way to meet organizational needs. And you do that through this transformational approach, which is really all about knowing your people. Now, another important approach and technique that it's really important for all of us as leaders is the situational leadership. Now, this means that we adapt our leadership style based on the needs of our team and the challenges that show up. Whatever's happening in front of you, you're able to adapt. So sometimes your team may need clear direction, right? Structure. Other times they may need just autonomy and maybe support. Being flexible and responsive really empowers you to build trust and resilience within your team and organization. So think about these two approaches. You have your transformational, where you're building and connecting things that are meaningful to the person with the vision and mission of the organization. You have the situational leadership, which allows you to be a chameleon, to adapt, to move in different ways, to look at what's ahead of you, to maybe even foresee some of the problems and challenges that you have to address. And then how do you help yourself and your team adapt to those changes that are coming. Whether it is that you need to give super clear guidance, or you need to be hands off and give your team an opportunity to thrive and flourish, then that's what you do. But you're flexible, you're able to build that trust and resilience with your team. To put these techniques into practice, let's talk about a few steps that will support in this process. Now, first and foremost, I say this a lot: listen actively to your team's concerns and ideas. Learn to listen. Communicate clearly and transparently about goals and expectations. You got to let your people know what's coming. Also, provide regular feedback, and feedback that is truthful, constructive, and engaging, right? Feedback that doesn't fall under that criteria is not going to build trust. Now, feedback is really important because feedback is, in fact, a gift. When someone tells us something about ourselves, we shouldn't get defensive. I know it's hard, but we shouldn't get defensive. We should listen to what they're saying. And maybe within that message, maybe not all of it is true, but there is always a nugget. There's always something there that you can use for your own growth. So remember, when you give feedback to someone else, ask permission. Hey, can I give the team feedback? Can I give you feedback? Ask permission. Get that agreement so that they are open to listening. Tell the truth. Tell the truth honestly and with kindness. Make sure it's constructive. Make sure that we're learning something from that. And then leave them with words of encouragement so that they can go and meet their goals. Now, the other thing that we should consider here as we're looking at these two approaches is recognizing and celebrating the achievements. Big or small, celebrating actually matters. Now, by integrating these habits into your daily routine, you begin to create an environment where people actually feel valued and motivated to contribute their best, right? We're not always going to be our best, but the goal is that people are ready, willing, and able to do their best. Now, how do we build emotional intelligence to strengthen connections? So let's move on. We're going to talk about emotional intelligence now. One of the most transformative advanced leadership techniques is developing emotional intelligence, which is the ability to understand and manage how others manage their emotions, how you manage your emotions, and of course, we want to be able to influence other people around us in a positive way by understanding their thoughts, ideas, and emotions, right? So, emotional intelligence is about that holistic approach to looking at people and really meeting them where they are at. So, it requires compassion and empathy all the time. Now, this skill is crucial for creating strong relationships and navigating the complexities of organizational dynamics. And I think we all know that emotional intelligence, it's all about self-regulation. And um, I I have found that leaders who cultivate emotional intelligence are so much better equipped to handle conflict. They're able to foster collaboration and inspire loyalty. For instance, when a team member is struggling, an emotional, intelligent leader can sense the underlying issues and offer support rather than just focus on performance matrix. Matrix are important, but they're not everything. They're not everything. Yes, we have to measure things, but we also have to make sure that our people are ready and able and capable to do the things that we want them to do. And sometimes looking at our people with a higher sense of emotional intelligence gives us a window to where they are emotionally. Are they able to do what we're asking them to do at this particular moment? And remember, emotions are temporary. And when we're focusing and addressing some of these moments where people may be off balance, our job is to bring them back into balance. And the faster that we do that, then the quicker we can refocus on our performance matrix and, of course, promote organizational growth. So, how can we enhance our emotional intelligence? Let's talk about that for a second. First, self awareness. Regularly reflect on your emotions and how they affect your decisions. Self reflection is so important, right? Self awareness, knowing what's happening to me, knowing what's happening to you as a leader, so that you can then make good, sound decisions that are not emotionally driven. We can use emotion, but we use it as information, but we use it also to keep ourselves balanced, which brings me to the other uh, uh, goal here of emotional intelligence, of how do we enhance it? Well, self-regulation. Practice staying calm, composed, especially in stressful situations, right? We need to be able to be consistent in our leadership. A leadership that understands, and doesn't mean that you won't make mistakes, but a leader that understands that self-regulation is paramount, that builds trust in your relationships with your people. So remember, remain composed and calm. Acknowledge that situations are a little stressful. People will empathize with you and they will appreciate that. They will respect you for it. Show empathy, be empathetic, make a conscious effort to understand others' perspectives and feelings, right? That supports our emotional intelligence. Next is social skills. Build rapport through active listening. And I think we said that earlier. Listening is paramount. Open communication and positive body language matters, right? So our job as leader is not only to give direction, but know when to listen, know when to simply scan the room, listen to the room. If you need to pause and scan and look at people's body responses, are they responding in a positive way about what's happening in the space? It's really important that we pay attention to those social cues in your spaces. Motivation. Motivation. Maintain a positive attitude and inspire others by setting an example. And I think this is really important. I often have leaders that will come into a meeting and they may not feel 100%, and they're not able to maintain a positive energy in the space. If you ever find yourself in that space, just don't show up, or at least acknowledge it within that space that you're not in a perfect space, so that people understand that this is not what is always going to happen when you are in a stressful situation. I think we are all responsible for how people experiences us in different spaces. So motivation is really, really important because we are the source as leaders. Our job is to maintain a positive attitude so that others can be model that and they can also have positive attitudes and inspire others. So we have to lead by example. Motivation truly means lead by example. We set the expectation. We set the example for others to follow. So remember, emotional intelligence, motivation, social skills, empathy, self regulation, self awareness. Extremely important that we use those to build our emotional intelligence. Now, by prioritizing emotional intelligence, you create a culture where people feel safe to express themselves and collaborate openly. This leads to higher morale and better problem solving. So, again, you can have your amazing days and your bad days. As long as we're being honest about who is showing up in that room, that's all we need to do. So, we lead by example. Now, let's talk a little bit about cultivating a growth mindset for continuous improvement. And I can't tell you how important this is. So, a growth mindset is the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. This mindset is a cornerstone of advanced leadership techniques because it encourages learning, resiliency, and innovation. So remember, it is a cornerstone. A mindset of growth is a cornerstone for leadership. If we have a group of people that are eager to learn, they will always be resilient because it is in that learning process that we stretch ourselves. That's where innovation happens, right? So we have to model that and make sure that our people understand that just because we're learning something new and it might be uncomfortable, that is the space where growth happens exponentially. It is a multiplier. Remember, it's really important. Mindset matters. When you adopt a growth mindset, you view challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles. And again, this is all about maintaining a positive attitude. So when we are able to look at obstacles as opportunities, right? We now have adopted a growth mindset. You will be more willing to take risk, learn from your failures, and seek feedback. This attitude not only benefits you, but also sets a powerful example for your team. So, to foster a growth mindset with your organization, you should focus on the following strategies. Now, encourage experimentation and reward creative problem solving. Two, promote learning opportunities such as workshops, coaching, and mentoring. Normalize failure as a natural part of growth and innovation. Don't be afraid. Normalize failures as a natural part of growth and innovation. Set stretch goals that challenge your team to push beyond their comfort zones. And of course, as always, celebrate progress and effort, not just outcomes, but progress. By embedding a growth mindset into your leadership approach, you create a dynamic environment where continuous improvement is the norm. Now, what are some practical steps to enhance your leadership skill development? Now, mastering leadership is a lifelong journey, and one of the best ways to accelerate your progress is through intentional leadership skills development. What does this mean? Well, this means actively seeking opportunities to learn, practice, and refine your abilities. So, here are some actionable recommendations to boost your leadership skills. Number one, seek feedback regularly from peers, mentors, team members to identify your blind spots. Engage in leadership training programs that focus on advanced techniques and real world applications, right? We learn through doing. Read widely on leadership theories, case studies, and success stories. Practice mindfulness and self reflection to stay grounded and focused. One of the big things that I promote through my Leader Insights is our Quiet Power book, you know, Transformative Insights. Now, this book, it's a very simple book, has everyday quotes, you know, reflections. And I think it's important. And it could be this book, it could be any book, it could be a blank journal. It doesn't matter what you use, but, you know, practicing mindfulness and self reflection is a habit that needs to be created and formed. And you need to be able to stay grounded and focused. And there are so many tools. So if you're interested in quiet power, go to the link in my bio and check out my books in Amazon. It's there for you to check out. Now, number five, network with other leaders to exchange ideas and new perspectives. We only grow when we are exposed to other perspectives and other ideas from other people. Number six, set personal development goals and track your progress over time. Remember, guys, learning is a continuum. We need to always be willing to learn and grow. That means we have to keep an open mind. Now, leadership is not about perfection, but about progress. Every step you take towards improving your skills brings you closer to becoming the leader your team needs. And remember, the goal is to inspire a culture of excellence and authentic transformation. At the heart of organizational growth is culture that values excellence and authentic transformation. As leaders, we have the privilege and responsibility to shape this culture by modeling the behaviors we want to see in others. Authentic leadership means being true to your values, transparent in your actions, and consistent in your commitments. When you lead with authenticity, you build trust and credibility that inspires others to follow and grow. Now, we're getting near the close here, so let's talk about how to cultivate a culture of excellence. Now, let's consider these few approaches that I have here. Set clear standards for quality and accountability. 2. Empower your team to take initiative and make decisions. Foster open communication where ideas and concerns can be shared freely. Invest in professional development to help your team grow alongside the organization. Recognize and reward behaviors that align with your values and goals. Now, by nurturing this culture, you create a powerful foundation for sustainable growth and meaningful change, which is the ultimate goal. So, embrace your leadership journey with an open heart and a human centered approach. And remember, mastering advanced leadership techniques is a rewarding and ongoing process. It requires dedication, self awareness, and a genuine desire to make a positive impact. So, as you embrace these strategies, remember that every leader's path is unique and every challenge is an opportunity to learn and grow. I encourage you to take these insights to heart and begin applying them today. You don't have to wait. Take it all in, begin to apply them. Together, we can cultivate a mindset of excellence and drive the transformation that organizations need to thrive in an ever changing world. Your leadership journey is not just about reaching a destination, it's about the meaningful steps you take along the way. Let's talk about this path with confidence, compassion, and with a commitment for growth. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.